Hey, everybody, it's Eddie from Tokyo. This is your cryptocurrency update from Japan. So, there's a lot of talk about a brand new partner of Ripple, and they are using XRP in regards to Xrapid. And a lot of people are just covering the headlines, but I wanted to go a little deeper because it said that it was backed by some other partners, including Barclays was one and MIT. So the entity is called SendFriend, and they say that they leverage the blockchain to transform the 600 billion global remittance market. It is something that was founded in May 2017. It's private, it's for profit. And if we look here, this is kind of the statement of how they describe themselves. So for millions of migrant workers who overpay annually, the international money transfer because the friction in the banking system, SendFriend leverages blockchain technology to reduce the cost of service by 65% from the industry average. So it was the winner of the MIT Media Lab Translational Innovation Alliance Award and the MIT what is that? Legatum Fellowship. So SendFriend is a team of ex-World Bank and ex-MoneyGram staff, passionate about bringing innovation to the masses. And the other investors include Techstars, Barclays, Mahindra, the MasterCard Foundation, and Deloitte. So when we come down, I'm on Crunchbase. This is a great source to find out exactly who is funding what, how many rounds have they actually received, etc. We find that on the 28th of October, so let's just take a look before I lose this page. Total amount of funding thus far has been $1.7 million. And this other finance round came in the way of a grant. And that grant was received on October 28 for $1 million. And when we look at who is behind this grant, we see that it is Ripple. Interesting, huh? Especially because it was in the form of a grant. But maybe not so strange, but it does get a little strange, so hang in there with me. This is the SendFriend. Very straightforward, very simple. You basically put your name and email address to get the sign up, and it says that if you sign up, you can do your first transaction for free. So the smartest way to send money to the Philippines. All right, so we get it. We understand. The supporters are Barclays Accelerator, MasterCard, MIT, Harvard, Deloitte. But, look, there's actually a few more mentioned here on the bottom, like the World Bank, MIT, MoneyGram, and Harvard Business School again. But there is no mention, at least on this website, of Ripple. And then, I'm not exactly sure how I found this, but this is the www.f6s.com website. It is an incubator, and it has had over 1 million tech founders on this platform with 800,000 startups and 10,000 programs globally. So it has received millions of dollars in the way of grants. And when we look at this SendFriend, it is on that platform, and you can see the Massachusetts Institute of Technology picture behind. So that's definitely MIT, and it says here that SendFriend is an award-winning remittance and financial inclusion platform, leveraging blockchain technology currently being incubated at MIT. So this is where it gets strange. If you click on this video, I'm not going to play the sound because I'll just compete with it here. It takes you through the steps. And it was edited a little bit strangely. So in the beginning, the voice is loud, and it's very much scripted and very clear. So it was built by MIT engineers, and you put in your account, you get through the KYC process, and they are going to save you lots of money and pass that savings on to the user. And it's all settled in real time. And then the voice changes, and it was obviously edited and done at a different time. And the second part is very, very soft. You have to turn up the sound. And they say that it's going to be powered by Ripple's Xrapid, and that we liquidate USD for XRP, then XRP for the Filipino peso. And they're going to use the coins.ph website. And they do mention that the success that they've had in Mexico, that they have been able to save up to 70% of the cost. Now, this is where I almost fell out of my chair. The voice, which I don't know who it is, the voice goes on to say, if we find that Xrapid is not viable in the long term for us, there are many other suitable alternatives, including Stellar. I just about fell out of my chair. I mean, what kind of public statement is that? Especially when they just received on the 28th of October $1 million from Ripple. You can see the Ripple is here in their slideshow. Yeah, I was shocked. You got to listen. I listened a couple of times to make sure I was listening to that correctly. So anyway, there you have it. More than just the headline. All right. Trump administration reinstates all Iran sanctions. This came out just a couple of hours ago. I'm not going to cover a political story here at all. No. The reason why I'm bringing this up is because this directly affects SWIFT. So when we come down, and there's lots of news stories out there about this. This happens to just be in an Egyptian paper. And it says here that the U.S. Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin also said Washington has told the Brussels-based SWIFT financial messaging service it was expected to disconnect all Iranian financial institutions that the United States plans to blacklist as of Monday. So he declined to name the targeted institutions. So you have to think about, all right, SWIFT in the past has definitely cooperated. So there's no question in my mind that SWIFT is going to cooperate. That's not the issue here. What the issue is the E3, which is the three large countries, France, Germany, and Italy, along with the EU and two others being Russia and China, all had a meeting back on September 24th. And you can see they came out with a statement. And not only did they come out with this statement, but they also recorded the statement. You can see it in its entirety in basically 15 minutes here on the website. So this is the European Union's website for the Union of Foreign Affairs and Security Policy. So it says here in the statement that the ministers of China, France, Germany, the Russian Federation, and the UK, along with Italy and the Islamic Republic of Iran, have come to a joint agreement that in practical terms, it'll mean that the EU member states will set up a legal entity to facilitate legitimate financial transactions with Iran, and this will allow European companies to continue trade with Iran. So it very much appears that, and when you listen to the statement verbally, they are going to secure payment channels, and they're going to maintain and develop those payment channels. And it's going to include payment for oil and gas and other legitimate business with Iran. They're calling it a special payment vehicle. So it'll be legally set up so that they can, how they see, skirt around the law of sanctions that are being um, put into action with the United States. So this SPV will give the countries named plus anyone else who wants to join. So yeah, now this is why I'm bringing this up, because the SWIFT payment system being caught in the total crosshairs of this geopolitical action could find itself and its customers completely fragmented. I mean, let's just think about it. If they create and develop their own payment channels, as they say in this statement, and that is looking at, look at the size of those countries. So if they do create their own channels, that means SWIFT loses them as customers. And what I want to ask myself is, should the sanctions at some point in the future end, which I hope that that would be the case, will those banks go back to SWIFT? I mean, why would you, right? So, and the other question is, if they do leave SWIFT, or they have an alternative payment channel that's maintained and developed by them, who's going to do it? So I think this story is really something we need to watch. Okay, Bloomberg today let us know that Remix Point to start crypto payments for Tokyo limousines. This is kind of fun. So Remix Point is working with Hinomaru Limousine Company. Hinomaru is a really big taxi company here in Japan. I think they might be just in Tokyo, but they're big. And they are going to let their passengers use digital currencies to pay for the rides between Tokyo and the two airports. We have two airports. We have Haneda, which is a domestic airport. However, they do sometimes go internationally as well. And then the international airport, which is Narita. It's a little bit farther. It's going to be a trial service set up this month, and they're going to, pretty much test it. Now, this information got out a day early because the people who let this cat out of the bag asked not to be identified, because a formal announcement is actually planned for tomorrow, which I find kind of funny. They are going to accept the payments of Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, and Ethereum. So there you have it. We are going to have cryptocurrency in one of the largest taxi companies. It's pretty good. All right, I'm going into a fluff story, and that story is about taxis. This is actually a concept taxi that was created by Toyota back in 2013. And it was actually to have the same kind of look and feel as the famous London taxi, but just a little bit smaller. And look at this. This is today. And about a year ago, they started to ship them, and they've been driving on the streets for about a year now. I just love them. They're a great size. They're so easy to get in and out of. They are also wheelchair friendly. They're hybrid. And I just think they're the one of the best things done for getting around the city if you don't take the train. You know, trains only run till midnight, so you don't always get home before the last train. And other times too, taxis are just way convenient. So when you come to Tokyo, please try one of these new taxis. By the way, when you do come, don't touch the door. The door is opened and closed for you by the taxi cab driver. So do not touch. I sometimes see foreigners who just are unaware that that is part of what's done. And don't worry, the driver's totally in control. He has an automatic opening and closing mechanism, and he'll take care of it for you. Don't touch it. And in Japan, many of the taxi drivers still wear white gloves. In fact, most of the train drivers wear white gloves too. So if you go out into the rural parts of Japan in the countryside, many of them still wear hats, and some even wear bow ties. You feel like you are getting just the top of the line service. Okay, everybody, that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching, and take care. Sayonara for now. Bye-bye.